Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And in this video, I'm going to be taking on the Act 2 Part 2 Final Chapter Level 200 Lufenia quest. And for this, I'm bringing a party of Noctis, Sazh, and Leo, with a Noctis friend and an Ifrit summon. So, a new era has finally dawned on the global version of the game. This is the first Lufenia level quest that we have ever seen. I know we've had a few like 185 and 190 level quests in the Abyss, but this is the first proper Lufenia that we have. So I figured because it is the first Lufenia that we've got, why the hell not start it off with a bang and bring out all the big guns and just go in absolutely all guns blazing. So as you can see, my party lineup, you already know what I'm going to be doing. You already know what the general approach is here. So I'm actually really glad that Lufenia is here. Because challenge quests have been really nice to kind of keep a revolving door of characters to make sure that you get to use someone different every couple of weeks or even like every event, and it keeps things fresh because it keeps you from spamming the same characters over and over and over again. But on the other hand, there are some characters that I really do like using, like Noctis and like Sazh, that I would like to be able to use for more than 2 weeks before I have to put them on the goddamn bench and rotate them out for someone else. So one of the reasons I'm glad that Luffy is here is because I can, within reason, use however the hell I goddamn please, as long as we can control the orb conditions. And this is the first Luffy, so it's probably one of the easiest ones, or at least one of the most straightforward ones. So you already know that the game plan here is I am going to be not letting Shinryu take a single goddamn turn because we've got 2 Noctises and we've got Sazh, and that's going to be basically how it's going to go down. Now, from this point forwards, I do have to say, I am not going to be making any videos on the Chaos Challenge quests any longer, because to me there doesn't seem like there's going to be much point, because they're still stuck at Chaos difficulty, and characters are going to get more and more powerful. Like, coming up, we've got 8's Lost Chapter, and 8 can solo his own goddamn Lufenia, let alone the Chaos. And then after that, we've got Kurosame, who is another absolutely monstrous powerhouse of a character, and it's only going to continue getting worse from there. So as long as you have like 3 synergy characters, you're probably going to be fine. Like on this one, for example, I do actually have Wall's LD weapon. Now you might be thinking, well, you didn't make a pull video, so how come? What's the deal? Well, you see, what happened is it was like 2 in the morning and the event just went live, so I decided to do my free pulls because I never get anything good on the free pulls. But I actually ended up luck-sacking the LD on the second free pull. So there's going to be no pull video, I'm afraid. But for the challenge quest, for the Chaos in this story chapter, it is basically, it's going to be you fighting against Garland and like 2 princess mannequins. It's like Garnet and Ash. So kind of appropriate if you know FF1 lore. And it's not really difficult if you've got Wall, because he just keeps you safe. It's just a matter of dealing enough damage to take them all out. So I ended up using Wall with his LD. I have a purple Agrius, and I have a Thancred at 0 out of 3 EX plus that I had his EX lying around from like ages ago, from when he got his EX like early in global. So I just used him, and it worked. It took like 60 odd turns, but we got there in the end. So let's just quickly go over. So for this one, being a Lufenia level quest, we do have a lot of bravery damage reduction to contend with, so I'm going all in on the artifacts and the spears to increase my attack. I'm using bravery damage for Noctis on spears instead of raw attack, because I think he'll already have enough attack. We need bravery damage to counter bravery damage reduction for the most part. In fact, case in point, I did some testing with Vivi in the Abyss, and we were doing 6,000 bravery damage per hit with Odin and Bash and Realm, but with Desch and Diablos, we were doing like 8,000 damage per hit. So definitely brave damage increase is not to be underestimated, as long as your auras are strong enough, like you know that VVs are. So these are my artifacts and spears. Obviously I've got the mighty weak spears on Leo because he basically imperils single target attacks. These are my old arts. I would actually have a 3rd mighty master blade on there if I could be bothered to farm it up, but we don't need it. We're going to be completely fine. And my friend Noctis is also triple 108 CS50s, but the spears are not as good. We're not going to be able to launch Shinryu, so that's not going to work. But, you know, spears are just minor little bonuses. So I'm bringing Ifrit instead of Odin, because we're not going to be taking any HP damage, so we're not going to be able to proc the attack portion of Odin's summon effect. And I know it reduces enemy defense by 15%, but it's actually better in the formula to have more attack than it is to reduce enemy defense. And I did test it, and we do more damage with Ifrit, so we're sticking with Ifrit. So I've not used Leo in a hot minute, it's going to be actually kind of nice to use him again. He actually works perfectly here because it's a single target boss in both waves. So yeah, we see the baby Shinryu there trying to look all menacing and doing what it does, but we absolutely don't care about that. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to pop Crystal 65 with Sazh, and then we're going to pop it again with Noctis, and we're going to do what every self-respecting Noctis player does, and just jump straight into the burst, because why the hell not? So here, I'm just going to pop the EX straight away, because we've got 2 overflow auras going on, so you don't really need the extra max bravery, you know. So let us use the Warp Strike Plus, and then the launch ability. So even though Sazh's generic buffs do actually conflict with Noctis's generic buffs, like they kind of overlap a little bit, the critical damage increase that Sazh provides is so... it's really clutch in terms of overcoming bravery damage reduction. And I'm probably going to be using Sazh in a lot of Lufenia, like a lot of early Lufenias, for that reason, because you do so much more damage when you've got him on the team. Like Desch is another similar one, because not only does he do imperils, but he also provides like a weakness damage boost, like Kryl does, just not quite as strong. But he does enchant imperil, so that's really nice as well. So we're just going to pop the burst with Noctis. I'm not going to be using any LDs on this wave, and I am not going for a 0 turn complete. Like, I'm not going for 0 turns. I'm just going for... I can pop Crystal 65 here and have Noctis actually proc his burst effect, which is kind of funny. In fact, because I'm not going for 0 turns, I can actually do it again. And again. And then we're just going to skill 2. So that's definitely something you can do. So let's just dole out all the punishment to this dragon. So I'm not gonna. Let's see what I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna plus. Let's refresh the buffs with General Leo over here. So after we use this EX, then we're pretty much out of this wave. Not really any kind of problem so far. Just has to sit there and take the punishment. There we go. So you see my follow-up attacks with Noctis are doing over 9,000 damage. So that's pretty nice. I definitely think the spheres have something to do with that, although they're obviously not essential. Okay. So we have this extremely intimidating looking, very badass looking Shinryu for the second wave of the fight, and I really like this design. Like, I thought the Blackened Will was pretty cool from the final battle of the Chapter 1, but this has a real sort of final boss feel to it. Like, I really love the design on this thing. I think they did an excellent job. Okay, so to explain Shinryu a little bit, its Lufenia orb is only going to appear after it uses its recast ability, so if it never uses it, then it's never going to appear. So I can tell you now, you're not going to see the Luffy orb. We're just not going to let it take a turn. But it also has another few effects. So it has a bunch of different auras that give it different effects depending on what aura it has. So it's got green aura where it gives you guaranteed hits, so it's going to get rid of things. It's going to hit through evasion, so like on Edge for example, and Jack and people like that, and Galoof, you're just going to get thwacked constantly, and it is going to recover its own HP based on how much bravery damage it deals you. So of course if you have Warrior of Light, it's not going to restore its health because it won't do any bravery damage, but there you go. It's got a purple aura which prevents all types of brave and HP gain and recovery and healing and battery and all the rest of it. You're just not going to get any. It's got the yellow aura which prevents it from being chased and from being delayed. And then the blue aura makes it basically immune to brave damage. It takes 0 brave damage from everything. So it always starts out with the yellow aura, which is why we're not using Kais, because we won't be able to launch the bastard. But there's two things that does work. Noctis turn manipulation works because as long as you can keep everyone, like, it's not going to get delayed from break even, but as long as you keep everyone here, then Noctis can keep them all in front of the boss. You know, it can keep everyone taking turns. And if you have a mid-Italian, turn deletion is different from turn delay, so a mid-Italian also works. Anyway, let's go in with an LD, which we need to kickstart things on this wave and make sure everyone stays in front of Shinryu. And then this great big thick dragon is just gonna basically sit still and just take all the punishment that we have to offer. So I figured this was gonna happen. Like, if I do this, I'm going to jump up. So I want to take the most free turns that I can, so I'm just going to do a regular HP attack with Leo here. And I figured that Sazh might actually jump in front as well. Unfortunately, we really can't help that. Am I going to jump in front here? No, I'm not. So I am actually going to have to blow another LD use with Noctis here, and I should have taken the skill with Leo, because Sazh is not going to get turn rate to get another turn, and if you let him fall behind here, he will not get another turn full stop until you summon or something. So Gestalian Loyalty, that's from his EX, right? Raises on attack, raises party's max brave. I don't know if it's from this. Okay. So we're just going to get stuck with a bunch of debuffs, which is really cool, and that does happen sometimes when you're fighting against this guy. But that's why we have Sazh here to save the day and just shower everyone in buffs instead. So we do only have one turn of warp step, so I am not miscounting that. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm not going to use my LD, I'm just going to use my EX instead. Because I'm gonna swap out our Leo for the friend Noctis. And swapping out Leo is completely fine, because the only thing he does is provides a max bravery aura, which Noctis also does, and obviously the debuff for the single target damage is going to stay on the Shinryu even after you swap Leo out. So it's definitely the right call to swap out if indeed you are using Leo. Get the plus abilities prepped, and yeah, we're absolutely going to click the big shiny burst button. Why wouldn't we? Yes, 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 you do your debuffs, we don't really care about that. So, I'm going to spam HP++ until we're about to run out of Amiga stacks. Because, spoiler alert, I did this before and I did end up running out of stacks, so we definitely don't want to do that. And that's pretty much how this fight's going to go. So you know when people were telling you that there was a lot of hype around Noctis and he was going to be very useful in future Lufenias and blah blah blah? Well, they weren't exactly lying. You can definitely pull off some shenanigans if you've got Noct on your team. That's just how it goes. That said, I'm probably not going to use him for everything because, to be honest, I think it gets boring after a little while. But I do absolutely enjoy using the guy. And this is incidentally why I personally rate Noctis much, much higher than Ardyn, because even though Ardyn does a lot of damage, damage is really the only thing that he does. He does not have anything like this level of utility in turn manipulation. Like, he just has nothing in his kit that is like this. So this is pretty much how Lufenia is reduced to a punching bag. I'm just going to stay silent and you can just all watch the magic happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to use up all of the turns of warp step that we can, and then we're going to go into summon basically. So I've got two turns left on my Omega stacks. So next turn I'm going to have to use a skill. Sure. Okay. So Leo's back. So Leo's going to be behind here. So this is kind of what I was saying before. Like, Leo's not going to get another turn now until after we use the summon, because he's stuck behind the dragon. So that's one of the things that Noctis can really sort of help you out with. Okay, so I think Noctis doesn't have any warp steps left, which he doesn't. So we're just going to do this. And then we are going to jump straight into the summon. So this is good. So Sazh moves up here, which is what we want. I'm not sure if I can trust Leo moving up there though. So like, I don't think he's going to. So I'm gonna have to do this. Gonna have to do it. I don't want Leo getting stuck behind the boss. Oh, but he does it anyway because I'm an absolute idiot and didn't use his crystals. I used all my crystal 65s. Never mind. It's fine, it's fine, it's totally fine. We're still gonna make it anyway. It's just me being a little bit suboptimal. Actually, what's gonna do more damage? I think the EX is only going to do like 80k because of all the damage reduction. 77, yeah, that's a bit yikes, isn't it? Okay, so we've got one turn left on the warp step, so let's prep the plus abilities, and we're pretty much just going to try and hog all the turns. So, warp strike plus. Oh dear, this isn't looking too clever, is it? We've got 7% health left. Can Noctis do it? Can he do it? Do you believe? I'm not sure if I believe, to be honest. But we're going to find out either way. I don't believe. I think Leo is about to get attacked here. Yeah, there we go. We let it take a turn. God damn it, Shinryu. You had one job. And you absolutely failed. Okay, so obviously it's definitely possible not to let it get a single turn there. But for the sake of just getting this over and done with, I'm just going to run with this. So this is going to be my clear of the first Lufenia that we've seen. So it's 8 turns. I did actually manage it a lower turn count. I think like there's someone that's got a turn count as low as 3 on the JP side on this, which is kind of bonkers if you think about it. But I'm not doing it super optimally. I just want to have a little bit of fun with the first Luffy that we've got. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope those of you who pulled on this banner had some terrific luck with Warrior of Lights LD. And I will see you guys in the next video, which is probably going to be the one for Apes Lost chapter. So, until that time, take care and goodbye.